Howdy. Welcome, and today I'm going to answer the question, why would I name my channel Exodus Mystery Babylon? And the main reason is Revelation chapter 17, verse 5. And we'll go over it in a minute, but first let's talk about what the word Exodus means. And a lot of you are probably familiar with the chapter or the book in the Bible written by Moses called Exodus. Or you might be familiar with the Bob Marley song, Exodus, where he says, movement of Jah people. And that's exactly what it means. It means movement of God's people. And he called the Israelites out of Egypt in the book of Exodus and called them out into the desert and ultimately led them into the promised land. So it's my belief that there's a repeat of that story happening, and there's a lot of allusion to it in the book of Revelation. John is given a vision of another Babylon, and again God calls his people out of the mystery Babylon. So we'll read from the text here, but ultimately I created this channel to help lead people out of Mystery Babylon. I feel like God is calling people out, and he's saying, come out of her, my people. And if you want to ask me, what is the Mystery Babylon? It is this new one world government, and possibly, all the nations. If you read on into Revelation, it becomes more apparent that we are actually living in Mystery Babylon. This is the one world control that we're living in. So let's start on chapter 17 here. I'm going to read verse 1 on into verse 6, and then we're going to skip over to chapter 18 here. So here's my handy dandy Bible. Chapter 17, and one of the 7 messengers who had 7 bowls came to me and spoke with me, saying, Come, I shall show you the judgment of the great whore sitting on many waters, with whom the sovereigns of the earth committed whoring, and the inhabitants of the earth were made drunk with the wine of her whoring. And he carried me away to the spirit of the wilderness, and I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet beast covered with names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was dressed in purple and scarlet, and adorned with gold and precious stones and pearls, holding in her hand a golden cup filled with abominations of the filthiness of her whoring. And upon her forehead a name written, a secret. Some Bible versions say a mystery. My Bible here says a secret. And in all caps it says, Babel the Great, the mother of whores and the abomination of the earth. And I saw the woman drunk with the blood of the set apart ones, and with the blood of the witnesses of Yeshua. And having seen her, I marveled, greatly marveled. Let's just read the next message, line 7 here. It says, And the messenger said to me, Why did you marvel? Let me explain to you the secret of the woman and the beast she rides, and which has 7 heads and 10 horns. And so he goes on to explain what these 7 horns and 10 horns and 7 heads means. So let's skip over to chapter 18 here. He says, And I heard a voice calling from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, lest you share her sins, and lest you receive her plagues. So I feel like God is calling people out. He doesn't want us to be part of the one world government. And if you know how Revelation ends, you do not want to be on the part of, or on the side of the one world government, because they're not serving the will of Yah, of God. So with that being said, I feel like we are being called out, and part of the ways that we're being called out, I know a lot of believers lately have turned to homesteading, because if you read on, it says food scarcity is going to happen in the days when Mystery Babylon is falling. And I don't believe God wants or intends that for his people. It is a side effect if you choose to be on the side of Mystery Babylon. But if you are serving God's will and you're written in the book of life, it says later on, those will be who are not written in the book of life will be tormented and will partake of the plagues, but those who are written in the book of life will be spared. And I think this is important. I'm gonna say a prayer for everyone that I pray that you are called out of Mystery Babylon, and I pray that God has a plan for you and that you don't partake of the plagues. And so that's what I'm dedicating this channel to do, is I want to help people come out of Mystery Babylon. And part of the reason the way I think we do that is homesteading, not taking the jab, not giving away your life to pharmakia. Those drugs that they sell you aren't working. You've got to find a different way. You got to find God's way of healing the body, not man's way. So the lesson being, Babylon, we all know the story of the tower that was raised high and they tried to overthrow God, and God brought it down, and it's because it wasn't God's will. And He has a way of bringing us back down to earth. And I believe this whole homestead movement is part of God bringing us all back to earth and showing us that there's labor involved in making food, and life isn't as easy as we think it is. There's a lot of sacrifice and a lot of pain that goes into living. And a lot of us are unaware of this because we've just been fed fast food and cheap, easy, trash, junk food. And unfortunately, we feel the pain after that. We feel the discomfort and the disease that comes along with these cheap fast foods. So my prayer for you is that you come out of her, my people, God's people. We are all in this together, and I pray that you have a blessed day. Thanks for the listen.